Hey y'all, I'm Latesha Rashae.
And I'm Quita Renee.
Okay, period. And today we are discussing the Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 11. Let's be honest. This was an interesting episode. Before we even get started, I do want to talk about the commotion from Porsha, you know,
Uh,
dressing Shamea prior to getting started. So
and Shamea.
we did screenshot the little warning that Porsha sent out to Shamea. Was that 2 days ago? Was that Sunday? Yeah, that was
It's
Sunday.
Saturday. It was before the show aired, so it was Saturday.
Yes. So Portia posted and deleted. I'ma just say this. I'm watching a new episode at Shabia Morton. Now, don't take it there. Don't imply shit about Diane.
Mm.
Okay. I've been keeping it cute or quiet, and you can do and say what you want in me, but hear me when I say wrong road. Talking about, well, your mom thought my mom was a friend, but ain't that the same thing you said? But I digress. Knowing goddamn well what she did to my mom was highly egregious. And we know she don't know what that word means. Don't do it. Keep playing victim and that BS. Don't F with my mom.
I was like, baby, that was pure chat GPT. Like,
It wasn't
chat,
because it had too many typos. Don't talk about my friend ChatGPT like that. Do
it's
not talk
chatty.
about my
You
friend
don't say
ChatGPT.
his whole name. See, that's how I know you ain't really close with him. You call him chat GPT.
I
It's
call
chatty.
I call my friends. You call your friends. You want to call your friends, but I'm gonna call my
Okay. Okay. I'm just
chat.
saying, yeah.
His name is Gupti. Chat Gupti is my friend. So I know that Portia, maybe she did look up a synonym for a word and got egregious. So maybe she did, because you can't tell me that the person that thought a conductor was actually driving a train underneath the house came up with the word egregious. Anywho, Biddy, what are your thoughts about
Somebody
that?
got to be riding the train.
Biddy, what
Oh,
are your thoughts about that message after seeing the episode?
that's what I was just going to say.
Okay.
Okay, so before seeing the episode, I was like, ooh, what did she say? I can't wait to see what she said. I
Couldn't wait.
watched it and I was just like, okay, maybe I need to rewind it. What am I missing?
I feel like we
What am
did
I
rewrite.
missing? So it makes me believe that she did this for the show. She was like, okay, let me cause up commotion. Because you going after Drew, you ain't got no motion with it.
None.
You don't get no kudos, no claps like, oh girl, you read her. You get nothing for that. So now she's just like, okay, let me go after this person who they saying is the next big dog or a good person for the show. Let me go after her.
Right. Right. I didn't think that what Shamia, it was actually the same thing that Portia said. In one of Portia's confessionals, she too mentioned, like they were friends first. And my mom thought she was a friend. She alluded to something the same way. And even that very first scene in Shamia's confessional, she was like, they asked her, I think the producers asked, like, so what happened with your moms? And she was like, I'm not gonna speak on it, which I think was the right road. You know,
Right.
I think that Shamia did a great job in eloquently explaining that their moms were best friends. That's how they met. Their moms had friction in the relationship. It was severed. And I think she respected it kind of in that way. And also
Right.
kind of explained to us how she has managed to be a friend with Portia so long. And for me, I'm a bit confused on how they have maintained a friendship for so long. And I think, frankly, since they've been Portia has been on the show and Shamia has not, that has really saved their friendship a extra amount of years. Because
Oh,
had Shamia gotten that peach and accepted the peach earlier, their friendship wouldn't have lasted this long. What you think?
that's an interesting perspective that you don't think that they would have lasted this long if she came on the show earlier because they did ask her, but
Mm-hmm.
Gerald was
Yeah,
like, no,
I'm glad he
we
didn't
ain't gonna
because
do that.
the relationship was
I'm,
fresh too at the time.
I'm glad too. I really do. I'm on one of those believer that reality TV does ruin these people relationships. I believe it. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it.
Even if the
Me and
foundation,
mine, we ain't doing it.
even if the foundation's strong, do you think that plays a role in the severance of the relationships when you come on prematurely in a relationship?
Um, I mean, it may prolong it, but in the end, you're gonna divorce. Like
Yeah.
you didn't watch Beverly Hills.
No.
I and y'all, if you watch Beverly Hills, y'all know who I'm talking about. I never would have thought they was gonna divorce.
Really.
Never. Never.
And
Now the lady going through a crisis. She thinks she like women there. It's a whole lot, child. It's a lot
and
going on.
I was trying to think of situations too where there could have been like Nene. She was with Greg for a very long time before she came on this show. She came, although
Mm-hmm.
they got remarried, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that I don't know what you have to come into this world, reality TV world with in your relationship for it to maintain its strength. I just don't know at this moment, but I'm glad
So
for Shamia that she did it.
with with that whole topic, um, I just feel like it takes a lot of willpower for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people to be coming after your significant other and even you. And even
Mm-hmm.
you. So just think right now we just have to deal with the masses of social media.
Right.
But just think if your man is being seen by thousands and thousands and thousands of people and they jumping in his DM, that's a lot. That's
Mm-hmm.
a lot to deal with. So for that, I'm just like, even if you have been with your person for a long time, it's kind of hard to fight off a lot of people 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah. But that first scene, Shamia was talking to Cynthia about that. So we kind of already talked about what generalized what their conversation was about. But um in that scene, I think there was the scene where Cynthia also touched on feeling like Shamia in a friendship. And we all knew that she was alluding to the friendship that she had with
Yeah.
Nina. And I thought that was a good example of their relationship. Didn't you? I think that was helpful to
It
kind
just
of.
gave it was because it makes so much sense because I'm not even gonna lie, when the whole situation was going on with Cynthia and Nene, I just was like, why do you care so much?
Hmm.
Why do you care so much? What Nene thinks, what she says about you and your relationship. Why do you care so much? Not even about you and your relationship, but about you. Uh so now when all this stuff is going on with Portia and Shamia, I'm just like, oh child, y'all.
Yeah. And now seeing Cynthia on the podcast, even with Nene, she was like, now I kind of understand it a bit more. Why it did hold so much weight because you go from talking to somebody every day,
Yeah.
hanging out every day, you film, you're working together every day, and then it's gone. So I do
Yeah.
understand that that's hard, and I'm glad she could give. I wonder what advice would Cynthia give, like Shamia, off the record?
Ooh,
Now
that's a
that
good one.
that would have been great to see. Like, what advice can you give? Because everybody's not like Cynthia, but I do recognize that her and Shamia are a lot alike when it comes to
Hmm.
the relationships that they're in.
I'm like, it's just taking time, and I feel like they did need to go through that so they can get to where they are now.
But do
Because as much as Nene say that she didn't treat Cynthia bad, I mean, a little bit of I
you go
mean,
watch
you
the tape?
were kind of dogging her a little bit, yeah. And then I feel like the same with Portia and Shamia. I feel like Portia is kind of dragging Shamia right now. So I feel like you do have to go through that hard time to let you know, like, hey, I'm not the same person who I was back in the day. I love you. I care about you. You my friend. But how you are treating me is not good. So
Yeah.
let this time happen, and then maybe we can come back to it.
And even when you said like Portia's been dragging Shamia this whole time, I don't even think Portia's aware of the dragging because it's her normal. I think she's so used to
Yeah.
doing, so used to Shamia not speaking up for herself that you kind of
Mm-hmm.
to trample over people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, moving on to Angela. Her scene with Charles. I thought it was super cringy.
Charles.
I think it was so super cringy. I don't know what type of person Charles is, but he is not likable. That whole thing was just I was
Here
just
comes our differences.
I was like, "Oh my god." She was like, "You love me, Charles?" And he was like she was like, "You wouldn't want people to think that you don't love me. People think you don't love me." And he still didn't say anything. And then when she asked him for a kiss, he was like, "Why you want a kiss?" I mean, is Angela doing? Are they a sexless like relationship? Are they like a relationship that doesn't show affection? And is Angela now they're on camera? You know, she going to bat for her husband, but now he reacted as if this is not normal. Her asking for a kiss, right? So it led me to believe, okay, this obviously it's a strained marriage. She talked about the issues. And I sense just from their interaction that is strange. So you said there's a difference of opinion there. What are your thoughts?
So I just think they are not like the lovey-dovey type. I don't doubt that they both care about each other. I don't doubt that. I thinks he likes her.
I
Um,
him.
you said what?
I think she loves him.
I
Proceed.
think she loves him. I think he loves her too.
I haven't seen it yet.
I think in the beginning, I don't think he probably loved her like she was loving him in the beginning, but I think that he does love her now. The thing is, I feel like the reason why he was just like saying all this stuff because that is not their norm. That's not how they get down. We're not a PDA couple. That's not what we are going to be doing. But my love language is totally different. Like I may show you that I love you in a different way. So that
Especially
was what I gathered from that.
especially in front of all these people. And I do wonder, she said at a certain point, Charles was lashing out and they separated, right? I wonder
Mhm.
who bridged that gap to get them back together.
It probably was her. She said it wasn't
I,
long. I was just like, girl,
yeah, I wonder if she bridged that gap or did he do some of the chasing. But I would love to see Charles show just a little bit more care with Angela for us. For me as a viewer, I haven't.
right. I was gonna say, we got to say that at the end.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't say. I'm just trying not to shit on people early because I do have a habit to be like, I just don't like you, And so, with me saying that about Charles, I guess I got to extend the same grace to Britt because I don't see it with them. I don't see anything, and so I'm gonna just give her time because she could redeem herself. Because the people that we have loved at the beginning, we starting to hate them, and vice versa. So I do want to see more of what that looks like.
Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
When you say you don't see it, like you don't see the love, like what would he have to do to show that he cares about her? Like I because just think about it, this is their first time getting on TV. Well, not their first time getting on TV because he's a superstar, but
Mhm.
like their first time as a couple, like popping out because nobody knew about Angela Edie. I mean,
Mhm.
not Edie, Angela Oakley. What would you have liked for him to do?
What
And
would I?
then do you have an example of a couple that popped out where you was just like, oh, they care about each other?
I'll think about the example, but in ways I would like to see him show up for Angela. Everything, maybe everything that she does, he is really nonchalant. Even when it comes to her talking to him about her family and how, what she needs to do. Keep in mind, this is her mom. While it's easy to say, no, you need to let him go, I would like some kind of compassion, like show some kind of compassion in some areas. While you probably do need to be firm, there's
Mhm.
always also a way to show some care with it too. Even when she was like, "Do you think I can handle myself?" Even like words of affirmation, like, I mean, yeah, you strong, you beautiful inside out, you kind hearted. I think
He
you know how.
did.
No, he was like
He
with women.
he said with a woman.
He said with
He
women, yeah.
did.
But she didn't. Of course, it's a woman, Charles. I felt like that was. You think she finna go over there and fight her sister husband? Like, there's just no compassion from him, and so that's what I would want to see. I don't need it. I don't give a damn what they do in their house. I ain't gotta live with the nigga. But I just that I would like to see. And somebody that I do think we that gets that compassion, a couple. I don't know one yet. I'll think about it. I couldn't think. I can't think of anybody right now.
And that's why I just think of everybody relationship is
Different.
different. Like some
Mhm.
people are whole hands, some people are not like that, but they could probably be together the longest. Like they get each other. So do I think
Yeah.
they get each other, they do. I feel like she's trying to do something different for the TV because she thinks America thinks the way that you think. So she want him to do something different. And he's annoyed that it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, come on.
I think I can only go by what you give us, and you have told us. You know, every relationship has its ups and downs. You know, he's cheated,
That's
he's
facts.
had infidelities, and
Mhm.
it just lead me to believe we just want to be in a marriage. I don't know, and that marriage may work for her being cheated on, but personally,
Facts.
I just don't. I already don't see like the love from him to her, but it ain't for me. It's for her. But what she says comes along with the marriage. You even called the girl one of his whores. She could be one of Charles' whores. So that leads me to believe,
Jesus.
your husband still has whores. And I'm just saying, from what from that information, the information that she shared with us, and how he treats her, it leads me to believe that there are whores. So I just don't feel anything from Charles. And if you do have whores, I would just like you to treat your wife like the top whore, if anything. But I don't get
My
that in.
God.
That's all I'm saying. Anything else about Angela? Oh, I'm gonna put your question on you. Like, what marriage have you seen that is given what I'm saying I would need to see from? Have you seen that in any one of these marriages?
The only one that I have seen is the couple that are no longer together now. Kyle from Beverly Hills. I mean, that's the only one. Biddy, if you would have seen them in the beginning, it's so funny because I felt like they were so similar to me and Thomas. It felt very similar. Like they were comfortable with each other. You can tell they care about each other. They love each other. I love that for them. But child.
Did you watch since season one? Because I'm trying to figure out how far I would need to go back to
Oh,
learn
oh no, no,
caricature.
you know I started from season 1, episode 1.
I can't do it. They too far along for me.
Yeah, they are far along, far
Was
along.
Kyle
But
married to that plastic surgeon?
say it
No.
again.
Was Kyle
N-
married to a plastic surgeon?
No, he's in real estate. Her
Okay, that's
husband
not
is in real estate.
okay. This is a good place to pivot into Angela.
Come on,
Her
pivot.
scene with her mom. Angela's scene with her mom. You kind of go into that. You remember it, or I need to kind of go.
Uh, okay, so Angela was just talking about because her mom did express that she is going to move out of the house that Angela bought her. And she
Mm-hmm,
was just like, I paid like over 400 some thousands for this house, and you just gonna
mm-hmm.
let it go.
Another
And that
property.
made me, I mean, well, she said it's paid for.
Yeah,
So,
she rent it.
I
So that made
mean, let's
me
hope.
say
We can
something.
hope. But it's just like it just made me think because she was also talking to her mom. She was like, I just wish you had my back more. Like, I know you are in the middle between me and my sister.
Mhm.
And this I know that their sister lives with the mom
In that house. Yep.
in that house that
Mhm.
Angela paid for. um it just made me believe that there was so much friction between Angela and her sister that it
Mhm.
has transferred over to the mom, and the mom is kind of siding with the sister. So
Okay. I received that. I received
okay.
that. I think a part of the disconnect too is, and we've talked about this off camera. Angela has is the one with the money in the family, and in Black families
Hmm.
all the time, even with soul food. And once you get older, you realize that Terry wasn't the problem, right?
Yeah.
Terry wasn't the problem. So I think this is another one of those instances where Angela made it out. She got a successful husband. And maybe Angela was successful before Charles, maybe not. Maybe she used his resources to get her where she is. And then, of course, when one person make it out and your family see you living this lifestyle that they think you're supposed to automatically graduate them and pivot
Yeah.
them into, and you do the best you can. Angela probably bought them a house. She probably bought them a car to share. The question that I had with this was the her daughter, forget her name, asked them to borrow the car that Angela purchased for them, and they
Right.
told her no. Right? If it's my car and you bought it, if your son asks me, can he use the car that you bought me? It's still my car. I can
Facts.
say no. So the Angela took took it like, she mentioned, well, I bought this. And you gonna say my daughter can't use it, but you bought it for me. So in that instance, I understand why your mama want to move out. They feel like you are controlling them with the money, right? And we all adults here. If you don't like my rules, get out of my house. Like that's what the mama
That's
used to tell me.
facts.
But at
That's
the same
facts.
time, I do need Angela to take some responsibility. And why your damn daughter ain't got no car? She went off and got married without your input. She ain't want like, and why it's apples and oranges? Why she ain't got no car? Where is her car? That's what's confusing me. Why did she have to go to your mama and sister and ask them for a car? Why didn't she ask? I'm sure Angela and them probably got 16 cars in their driveway. Why didn't she ask Angela for a car or to use her car? These are all questions. I'm just saying I need more context.
Questions that need answers.
Questions that need answers immediately. Why do you think that's fair though? Do you understand where the mama is coming from? And maybe the mama feel like she can't defend you, Angela, because maybe she coming from the standpoint that I'm coming from. This my car in my house, whether you bought it for me or not. You bought it for me. When your man give you a purse, it's yours. He ain't gonna take it back. And where it is he?
Child, some of these dudes I be hearing about, they be wanting their stuff
Hmm.
back.
So, what are your thoughts about that?
So I was taking it more so like, okay, with that whole situation went down, she said she was arguing with the aunt, which is
Mm-hmm,
Angela's sister.
mm-hmm,
So how the mama got involved in all of this, that's where I was saying I think she is taking more with the sister side. Because you could have stayed in this house. This could have been just your house.
mm-hmm,
This could have been your car. Like, but all of a sudden it's a group car, it's a group house. Like, baby, what is going on? I gotta
mm-hmm.
take care of everybody. Like there's a
But
lot.
regardless, if it was the mama car and she said no, where's the problem?
But I
Because
don't think that was the situation though.
we need to be more clear on it. I think we need to delve a little deeper into that. We need more context. That's all I'm
We
saying.
need a
And
deep dive.
I mean, this ain't enough, but we need a little more. We need a little more. I think that speaking of daughters and family, it's a good time to pivot on over to Kelly teaching her daughter how to drive.
Yeah, that was you. Your nerves was bad. And
Baby,
I'm
I
gonna
got
tell you what Thomas told me about when he gonna teach Lennox how to drive.
oh Lord. What you say?
He said he is starting at 8.
Oh, I'm gonna have Michael in the car too. He can teach them both. Mm-hmm. He need a father.
He was like, boys, it don't take them there. I was like, what? Because his daddy did it. Like
Yeah,
I was just like, what is the thought process for this?
yeah. I
Like,
love
so he was like, you start off doing little things like, hey, I need you to move the car out the driveway, put it on the
it.
side of the street. He was like, we're gonna be teaching parking and all. I was just like, look, for me, I feel like if you teach them early, they're gonna want a car early. And then that's what my husband used to do. He used to take his mama car. He used to do all of this stuff. Like, I don't want that. So I
I
don't want him to teach them that early.
love it. My granddaddy used to let me do it like that. He sent me his lap and let me steer first. I learned how to do the steering wheel. And while I'm doing the steering,
Hmm.
you gotta look in your mirrors. I got the gas, I got the brake. You just let me know if anything coming. I'll let you do that. So I think
Right.
that's the cutest thing. I think it's cutest thing.
Thomas
But
already doing it with the lawnmower, child.
oh, Michael needs to come over there. Allergies or not, I'm gonna put
You
him on some.
so silly.
Yeah, but baby, Kelly daughter cannot drive. That's all I got from this thing. I ain't adding nothing to it. I ain't taking nothing from it. She can't drive. They so close to that curb and them other cars that was parked parallel. And then she was
I was like,
telling them,
maybe she need to sit up higher because she can't see over the lanes. Because I was like, girl, why you all the way to the right?
baby, I don't know, but she needs to teach her in the parking lot first. She definitely did not need to be on no main
You so
street.
silly.
It's been a lot of mama daughter. I've noticed that it's been a lot of mama daughter type of
Scenes.
conversations and times and
I
scenes.
love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yes. First we went from Shamea, talk about her mom and Porsha and her mom and Angela talking about her mom. And now
Britt Edie and her mom.
Edie and her mom. Scene with Drew and her mom. Drew's mom looked good. She did say her mom was almost 80 years old. She tech savvy. She got
Yes.
an iPad. She got all these cellular devices. Someone's at the front door doorbell. Someone's at my front door doorbell. It's probably a package. But anyway, um, Drew and her mama, Vidi, I want you to lead the scene with it because I thought it was a really good and interesting scene.
It was very, very touching. And I have said this. And Biddy, the way you kept asking me the question, I don't feel like you agree, but I feel like Drew has worked for her chick on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I feel like Cynthia
I know
has
what
worked
you
for
meant
her chick.
by it. Explain.
Huh?
I said I didn't
Say it
know what you
again.
meant by it initially when you said she was working for her chick. I didn't know if you meant that like
Yeah.
okay, she putting on for the camera. So explain what
Oh,
you mean by it.
and when I say working for her chick, I don't even think this is a put on. Like right now, her life is going in a way where we would want to follow behind there with the camera to see what is going on.
Yeah, okay,
Right?
okay, okay.
Which I feel like that is what Portia would have wanted as well if Simon didn't stop her with this whole divorce thing, like not mentioning him and all that. Because who wouldn't want to follow that situation? Right now, we're just seeing the aftermath of her like lashing out, but I would love to see like her more vulnerable, just like Drew was with her mom, like seeing what's happening, how her kids are being affected by this. I just love the whole thing with Drew. I'm loving Drew, baby. She done got her wigs fixed, her
She done
clothes
relaxed.
fixed,
She done
baby.
relaxed.
I'm here for the music is good,
Yeah,
so baby, y'all can
yeah,
add another zero to her check.
her check.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know how much she get paid.
Drew. I like the vulnerability of Drew right now. But that scene where she said she came home and she was locked out the house and couldn't get in.
Oh yeah.
She can't get
Hmm.
to her front door and this fool in the basement. Why did she have to go to a room? I would have had to get in my house. I would have had to get in my house. Ain't no way I'm going to get a room because it ain't nowhere in the divorce decree that say the lock's gonna be changed and you got to go to Motel 6 down the street. I did not understand it. Um,
We
but
talked about this though yesterday, Biddy. We
okay,
talked about this and you probably forgot. But I
okay,
said, mind you, I ain't never been through no divorce, but I know people who have been divorced. I watched TV, did it all.
yeah,
But when people are getting divorced, they are mean. It's ugly. That's what you do. You are now enemies. One time you looked at this person in the face and said, I want to do life with you. And then next thing you know, you're going through a divorce and you about to do life because you finna take their life. Like that's it's just crazy. It's crazy. So you do stuff like that.
you lock them out of their house where their kids in. I'm not going to no hotel. I'm gonna get in my house.
I think it got to a point where she just didn't want to call the cops.
And
It's like I'm just tired. I'm tired.
be trying to get her lawyer removed from their case.
Off
And
her
how could he
case.
do that? And he want to
Out.
prolong as quickly as he wants to torture Drew, and he a ban, as, and that's exactly what he is. He a ban, and
Yeah,
that she said he still ain't relinquished his financial records, and that's the importance of a prenup, people.
yeah,
That's
that
the
is.
prenup. Drew mama also mentioned like how her kids are acting out, how they don't listen. She was like, "If
Yeah.
this one, they don't even listen to me." And obviously she was shocked by that because she like that's not normal for them. And
Mm-hmm.
Drew broke down crying and was like, "Stop." Because you know when somebody bring up something like that about your kids, I don't know about other people,
Yeah.
Drew, but personally for me, I internalize it and I feel like, oh my God, I'm a bad mom. And I think
I
that
hate that.
them for her tears. Like, oh my God, I'm so out of
Mm-hmm.
touch with what's going on. I didn't realize that this was getting so ugly, not only
Mm-hmm.
for it's spewing over into my kids, and now they are acting out. So one thing I did appreciate is that when she told her mom to stop, she apologized because we know most black
Yeah.
moms ain't. I
Yeah.
ain't one to do it.
I ain't changing.
And I ain't changing it. You just be like, well, they be like, well, truth hurts. Somebody had to tell you. Kids running all around here bad as hell. They can do it at your house, but they can't do it at mine. You know, that type of stuff. So I was glad to see her mama like, okay, Drew. And then another point you saw it flashback and her mama was crying with her and trying to console her.
Yeah.
Um, but that's sad. I hope that
Oh,
what?
speaking of, did you hear the aftermath? I sent it to you. Not here. Did you see the aftermath of
Oh,
when Drew Ralph, that's his name.
yes.
Ralph was arguing with her mama
I saw it.
online.
I should have shared it. I should have shared it, but we can read it, I guess.
Trash. He is trash.
Ralph posted, Mama gotta watch her mouth. Don't you remember I saved you after you spent all your husband's money and had nothing? I was your angel then. Things change fast, doesn't it? First of all, where's your job, Ralph? You can't prove nothing to Latesha Rashae until we see a receipt of you paying a mortgage payment, a light, gas, and water bill. How did you save her mama? And why would she need you to save her mama when I'm sure Drew has had the means. We've known Drew Sidora forever. Who is
Yeah.
Ralph? Who is Ralph? Like, who is Ralph? Like, bro, you is in the basement. I highly doubt it. But anyway, Drew responded saying, disrespecting my mother, especially on a public platform, is
Yeah.
completely unacceptable. She's simply speaking from a mother's perspective based on what she's witnessed. Please stop the unnecessary negativity and show some basic respect. And I think y'all, at some point, she was like, Alexa, play delusional.
Very much.
On one of those. So I just think
Come
Drew
on,
shouldn't
promotions.
give energy. I think that Drew shouldn't give him any more public platform attention. As hard as
Hmm.
it may be, I would start referring him to the man that I'm divorcing. When I talk about him in my confessionals, I wouldn't say his name. He don't even deserve it. And I think whoever the judge is that summoned them to the basement and her upstairs, it's ridiculous. I think they
Yeah.
should them both sell that house and find separate places to live. I don't know if Ralph Financials would allow him to do that, but he claimed he's paying all the bills. So I don't know why it would be a problem for him to go get him a condo or something and her to do
He
the
doing
same.
it to be spiteful. Like
No,
it's all part of the game. Trash. It's a lot of trash behavior going on. That's
but
it.
for you
That's
to
all.
summon somebody to the same house as their abuser and they trying to separate is preposterous,
Yeah.
ridiculous. Um, Cynthia met Porsha and Angela. Cynthia, Porsha, and Angela, they met at the bowling alley. Porsha shows up in old nasty ass jumpsuit, like booty just jiggling the crack all up the crease.
Booty, booty,
Like
booty, booty, rocking everywhere.
booty was definitely rocking everywhere. If you can't count on Porsha to do nothing else, you can count on her to bring old nasty booty and a nasty outfit with a nasty walk to go along with it. And I wasn't mad at her, honestly.
With a unit, cause her hair gonna stay laid.
Her gonna stay like one thing about Porsha you can't deny is she comes through on the come through with her with the fashions. Her makeup is good. She could have left the teeth at
Mm-hmm.
home. But
Biddy used to.
we went and bought them teeth. We call them teeth.
I'm
So
done.
BD, you can go into the conversation that they had with Porsha. I don't give a damn what Porsha was talking about, but
I'm trying to think of what they all was talking about. What?
she was saying that
What?
PJ was pop pop. I do know that.
Oh yeah. I She was like, I just hate what all Simon is doing right now. I never would have thought that this would have been my reality. Um, Portia, not Portia, what's the girl name? Pilar. Pilar wanted to talk to Simon, but Simon
Listen,
ain't trying to talk to her. And I'm just like, okay, I get that. I get it. When you're around somebody for a certain period of time, especially kids, they just want to go with who they were just talking to. Like they had some fun with them. Like, where they at? Where they at?
mhm.
But I'm like, girl, if you don't call that girl daddy,
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm glad you
call that
said it.
girl daddy. Because it's not like he is an absentee daddy. I just am like,
Thank
hey, what's the baby daddy name?
uh Dennis, Hot Dog King, Hot Dog.
Dennis. Dennis, Mr. Hot Dog. Your baby girl is over here. She
Asking
is
about
missing Simon. I can be honest and say that she is missing Simon because Simon has been around all this time.
if
But
this is true.
she just want to be around some male energy. So can you pick your daughter up today? Take her for some
Mhm.
ice cream. You can even
Yeah,
give them a hot dog on the side. But yeah,
and I
I'm
can't
like,
even say it is not true because my child do the same thing with somebody I was dating for.
yeah, yes, it's familiarity. Blah,
Yeah,
that
familiar.
word.
Yes, I have nothing else to add to that or take from it. I think it was spot on.
Facts.
He also said something about I don't want to feel like I'm replacing everybody. What did she
Oh
mean?
yeah. That made me sad. Um, if I remember correctly, it was in response to her daughter. Like, okay, she got attached to Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis is no longer in the picture, but
Mm-hmm.
her daughter loved Dennis. Boom. Simon was in the picture. Clearly, the daughter loves Simon. And
Mm-hmm.
now Simon is no longer in the picture. So, in a child's mind, you will be thinking, like, dang, everybody who I love, they just eventually end up leaving. We try to think about those things for our kids as well.
Yeah, that's why you need to marry for the right reasons. Did you think that this was gonna be a relationship that was gonna last or prosper? Did you ever think that about this? Because you know I said no immediately.
Yeah. I think I be like a hopeless romantic
I do
when
too,
it
but
be
not.
coming to relationships. But
Mhm.
I don't be thinking like, oh, that's gonna end, that's gonna end.
It's
Like
not.
I when I look at it, like remember just going back to Candy and Todd, you had said from the jump, like, I don't think they're gonna make it, I don't think they're gonna make it. I was like, I think they're gonna make it.
The only reason
Because
I
for
didn't because of her mama.
some stuff I just be like, I mean, I think they're gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm glad they made it. They one that I was like, I was wrong about that when they made it. But I was like, I don't think they're gonna make it if she don't check her mama. She gonna have
No,
to.
I agree. I agree, and I still
Oh,
don't think she checked her mama. But
you
yeah,
don't?
I definitely agree. I don't.
Yeah.
I do not
Yeah.
think she checked her mama at all about their whole relationship. It was a thing like where Todd had to put it up in his head, like, okay, I'm just not
It's
gonna
gonna
take this lady
change. I
seriously.
ain't gonna stay. He had to do that. Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks. But anyway, BD, I want to get to the hoot ground, and that's the French term for them up. Everybody was waiting, anticipating this part, the sit down between Shamea and Porsha, and that's the last of this episode.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna let you roll with it, cause you know I got a
I'm
lot
gonna
to
let
say.
you roll with it. Okay, I'm gonna start off
Shamea,
by saying I'm gonna give grace to both the ladies. That's what I'm gonna start off by saying. I read the energy in the room and I could read that Portia was affected by this and also Shamia, right? Can you agree to that? Okay.
mm-hmm,
So it wasn't a situation where I felt like they both were going to come in like rah, rah, rah. Like, it's like, okay, I'm nervous because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want anything bad to happen, but I just don't know what's going to happen. That was the energy that I got from both of them. Um, However, I feel like Portia didn't take any accountability for how she could have made her friend feel. Shamia, of course, baby, the first thing out her mouth is gonna be, I apologize if I hurt your feelings. I apologize if I did this. I apologize if I did this. But what I think that part wasn't unexpected. I think what was unexpected to Portia was the fact that she was saying, and you hurt my feelings when you did this. And you when you did that, that hurt my feelings. I didn't like the way I felt when you did so and so and so and so. I don't
mm-hmm.
think Portia thought that Shamia was gonna come in trying to make her hold herself accountable because they sweep a lot of stuff under the bridge, under the rug, however you want to say it.
It's definitely uncharted waters. I don't think that this is the first time that Shamea has checked Portia. However, this is the first time Shamea is being on Portia's platform. And I think,
Oh, okay.
I think that she's had these conversations before, and Portia didn't have to be ashamed of them. She didn't have to be nervous on what would come out because it wasn't televised. I think that Portia was on pen and needles, anticipating what was going to happen and how she would respond or what Shamea would say. And I think it caught her off guard, like you said, just hearing her say, this hurt my feelings, because we saw when these things were happening in real time on the show. Shamia was like, no, that's my friend. It was like, she didn't seem like a good friend. She didn't even know you seen. Why was she saying it was Drew? And I think that again, as Shamia has done in private, she defended Portia, and was like, that's my friend. I know it did seem funny, but that's my friend. And I also think that Shamia was probably trying to contact Portia off,
Right.
the record then. But I know that her and Portia weren't talking. I think that should be a new start for Shamia to start bringing this shit up in real time. I think that she done let so much stuff by, and now everybody
Hmm.
out for looking stupid for letting sweeping those, because those are big things. You missed my wedding,
Yeah.
made all these excuses on camera, and they done rolled them tapes back on her ass. Have you seen them?
Yeah, I have. She was like,
Oh,
oh, my legs. I can't sit there that long. Oh, I'm sick. I'm
where the doctor's note and all this kind of stuff, and then it come up on camera. You done brought a lie saying you were mad at me because we weren't speaking. But what a better time to come to speak than at your wedding. Like, I know we at odds, but I wouldn't miss this shit for the world. It ain't no way.
right.
And then Shamia mentioned, and I think this. was unexpected to Porsha as well. Shamea was like, and then how am I supposed to take it when you come and tell me that your mama is telling you, oh, watch out for Shamea. You know she just like her mama. How am I supposed to take that?
Right.
Which leads to my question for you. How did they make it
Oh,
in this long? How did they make
just like
it?
I said, sweeping stuff underneath the bridge, like just don't worry about it. Oh, I'm upset. You know I'm upset. I may even told you, girl, now why you say that? But
Yeah,
then we're just gonna let it go. So I
yeah,
think at this point, Portia is confused. Like, why are we bringing this up again, girl? I've been told you I ain't give a fuck about that back in the day. What are we doing now?
yeah.
What are we doing?
And we've also talked about this in deep conversation about how Portia has always probably been the it girl. She's probably always been the prettiest, amongst the two. If you looking at it for face value, she's always been the lighter skinned girl. You know how people look at dark skin and lighter skin, she's always probably felt like she's the prettiest, the more superior. She had this platform. Just think Shamea all gave us a timeline of how long she's tried to sing. And Portia get
Yep,
on and had that little dead ass song years ago.
I'm
Flat
done.
Line. Imagine having to be your cheerleader. Shamea probably at times probably felt like, damn, she living my dream. She getting all the exposure I've been trying to get. But she has
Yeah,
always, from what we saw, stood behind you. And she also mentioned, I don't mind taking the background because I always know who I am. I always know what I bring to the table. And I feel like when Porsha had the opportunity to be the same way, she dropped the ball. She dropped the ball. And so
I
I know
definitely
they hugged at
agree.
the end. I know they hugged at the end, but Biddy, how do you think they move on from here? Then you got to go.
I think that I know they hugged at the end, but I felt the fakeness all the
Mm,
way in my house, sitting in my bed. I was just like, this is just a cover up. And I think that when Shamia made it back to her house and she was like, didn't nothing get resolved.
mhm,
Like this is the same thing. This whole dinner was pointless.
mhm.
It was so it'll probably I won't say it would. Do I want to go on record and say that? I was going to say it'll never be the same.
It won't. I think it won't. I think that Portia really have to be sincere and follow up with her saying, I don't want to throw this friendship away. And she got to follow up
Yeah.
and stand on it. But Shamea said on Watch What Happens Live, she extended grace. Now she going to need some mercy. And I
I
think it's
I
perfect.
love that for her. Go
Yeah.
girl.
She's like,
I'm
it's time.
excited to see what's next to come because you saw from the previews, Faye Faye is in the house.
And
Faye
it's just
Faye
real.
is in the house.
I can't wait. So is she next week? Phaedra's next week?
I think she will be next week, but I don't think she's gonna come in at the very beginning.
Okay.
I think she'll probably be at the end. It was like, who at the door? Girl, Richie just scared the mess out of me. Oh, I didn't have my door closed all the way. My
Put
God, today.
Richard Dollars to get in the camera so the people can see him. Hi, Richie. Hey, Richard. Hey, Richard. Well, anyway, y'all have met Richard. Thanks for joining us.
His name is Richie. Don't do
Rich,
him.
I call him Richard because it's more distinguished.
Richie Dollars.
Richard Dollar Bills. And yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Peace.